before all this stuff, I had 7 near-death experiences. But the interesting thing I discovered, spending a night at the ER, just looking at, oh yeah, I'm dying. At that point, it's not like an option, oh, I'm going to heal myself or da-da-da-da. I'm already in the dying process.
Now is the time, and here is the place, when all is good and divine. Why must you worry, put lines in your face, when all that you do is just fine?
Hello, everyone. Hi, y'all. It's wonderful to be able to be here today, live on Facebook. And it's, as you can see, nice and cozy with the fireplace going behind me and my warm cup of tea. Outside here in Roseville, it's pretty much been pouring rain. Not too windy today though. It's nice even gray. A cold day, and but what a perfect Saturday afternoon to be here live on Facebook with you. And I know many of you are gonna watch this when you're able to on the recording, but really I just wanted to show my face and personally thank you. I know I've written this on Facebook and posted in the newsletter and everything, but I'm really grateful for all your incredible love and support that you've been giving me and giving us, myself and Raphael included. And it's been a major part of especially my healing process. And so I just wanted to thank you all again for all your kindness, your generosity. Many of you have given to us gifts of financial gifts, which have helped enormously. And others of you have supported us by making us food so that Raphael doesn't have to do all of that and go shopping for groceries and things of that nature. All been incredibly helpful and healing. And as many of you know already, that I've mentioned this many times before, that cancer, I've worked with a lot of people over my years as a healer who had some form of cancer. And one of the main things I've learned from giving so many people with cancer their healings was that it's a community illness that shows up in individuals. So it requires the best way to approach the healing of any form of cancer is to have the community heal. And that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody in the community, your community, whatever the community is, it could be a community of family. It could be a community of a neighborhood that you're very involved in. It could be a church community. It could be a social community. It could be the community of friends. It could be a business community. And it's definitely going to involve, for those of you who need medical help, medical community of those who are caring for you on that level. So whatever community you involve becomes part of the healing. And as with all healing, it's not just a one-way street. Healing can never be a one-way street. Healing is all-inclusive, right? And healing isn't so much about what we do. Healing is not only communication that opens the space up for the healing, but healing is spirit itself. Healing is that undivided oneness, that undivided limitlessness we might call eternity or spirit, God, whatever you want to call that. The difference is, that which is truly undivided really means what wholeness means. What oneness means, it's undivided. This world is fully divided. Every day you get to experience the divisions in this world, night and day, right and wrong, good and bad. Male, female, everything there's two. It's a world that's based on dichotomies, polarity, duality. And so, as we incarnate here, as spirit, as that oneness, as that undividedness of life, it's a tough challenge for every one of us to be here because we're used to being at one. But we come here and all of a sudden, from birth, all of a sudden we incarnate into a body and everything we experience is a result of division. Is the result of two-ness instead of oneness. That just occupies all of our awareness and energy as a newborn to navigate. Okay, what do I do here? How do I manage this? Experience is so different here than it is where we came from in spirit. And this is why so many of us forget so much of what it is to be spirit. And the experience of spirit is because we're too busy going, how do I handle this stuff? So when we have something that we call illnesses, there's varying degrees of illnesses, but illness is illness which just means we're divided in some way within ourselves. The world is always divided. But somehow, we as awareness, as beingness, as life itself, end up thinking, believing that we're in some way divided, we're isolated, we're separate. We end up becoming part of the world of division rather than maintaining our space as the true limitless oneness that we are. We always are. We can't lose that. And that's why it's in spirit there is no death. That's the experience of being in a body. Then we have to deal with this experience everybody talks about. Well, I guess not everybody talks about it. A lot of people are afraid to talk about it. They just feel, I don't want to talk about death. Because death is serious. Well, why is death and dying have to be so serious? We only get serious about things that we're scared of, right? No. Being serious, the more important something is in your life, the less you could afford to be serious. Because, the difference in energy, right? Of seriousness. Yes, I'm being very serious. That's heavy. The energy comes way down. You get further away from spirit, the wholeness and the light and the truth of spirit. So if you get serious and you get heavy in your energy, you can't experience the healing of life, healing of spirit. So healing isn't something we have to go do something or fix something. No, healing is returning to. It's restoring our awareness and experience back to the limitless, undivided wholeness that we already are and forever are. We can't help it. But when we're immersed in the experience of this divided world, since everything we experience is a result of the division, we forget. This isn't our nature. This isn't how we're supposed to be. This isn't how we already are. And the more we try to fix it, the further divided we get. And when I talk about trying to fix it, some of you may have started to really become aware of, we talk about, my boss is a real control freak, or the government's trying to control me, or whatever like that. But how about the control freak within? We're all inside. There's varying degrees of us being control freaks, right? We gotta control this. So this is where people misunderstand healing right from the get-go, because, if I need a healing, I'm desperate, I'm gonna die, all that kind of stuff. And so you get serious and you're scared. You don't want to die. You're scared. So you got to do something about it. You don't just sit there. Do something about it. But, my experience throughout my whole life, when you have to start worrying, if you're watching me, you're going to have to start worrying if I look like I'm not really physically doing much. That's when I get dangerous. Because I get so much more done if I'm not busy running around like a chicken with the head cut off, doing things. If you see me joking around and laughing a lot, you gotta be careful. That's when I'm doing my best. That's when I'm doing my best work. That's when I'm getting the most done. Because I'm not in effort. I'm enjoying life. Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is my new iPad that Raphael got for me for Christmas. Before, I was already pretty, what would you call it? Exhausted, totally just not having any energy. And I couldn't do anything. And so, most of you know from both Raphael and my communications, printed communication in the newsletters and everything, that, beginning of this year, Happy New Year! 5 days into the new year, I'm spending the night at the ER. And it was a very interesting experience because, I knew I was dying. But the interesting thing that I didn't really discover or experience, become aware of until the next day, when I'm being told by my oncologist, discovering, you have not only cancer, but you have leukemia, and not only leukemia, but the most aggressive, fast-acting leukemia you can have. It's nothing like what I thought it would be, because I never thought I was going to have any kind of cancer. I'd probably die from a bunch of other stuff. A grand piano falling out of the 7th floor onto me or something, and when I'm walking down the street. But all those ideas, it's quick and easy, right? I don't like it when it's long and drawn out. Well, many of you know that I've had, before all this stuff, I had 7 near-death experiences. But the interesting thing I discovered, spending a night at the ER, just looking at, oh yeah, I'm dying. At that point, it's not like an option, oh, I'm going to heal myself or da-da-da-da. I'm already in the dying process. And I knew I had a few days to maybe at most, if they gave me some treatment or whatever, maybe a week or 2. So I'm really looking at, okay, so I got a very short time to get everything set up so I can go. As far as the going part, I'm going, okay, I've done enough. I could do more. This is true for all of us. If you stay longer, you're going to get more done. Yeah. So there's no end to that. Yeah. And this is part of where greediness becomes an experience here in this world, this divided world. Sometimes we get greedy because we're having such a good time. Let's have more of this, right? I want more. You can't stop. What is it? The commercial. You can't just eat one potato chip. I don't like potato chips. So I don't even have to eat the first potato chip if it's that addicting. But anyway, you can't just have one. You got to have more. If it's the better it is, the more you got to have it. It's hard to let it go, isn't it? Especially when the going's good. Oh, but when the going goes bad, it gets really bad and you're in tremendous pain and suffering, you just go, let me out of here. Let me get out of this whole thing. So once again, that's the experience of being caught up in this divided world. Instead of being in the world, but not of it, you end up becoming part of the world. Then everything is divided. You can't heal yourself. You have to return to restore yourself back to the spirit that you are. And so then when you're looking at death and dying, well, when I'm looking at it, having been there, done that 7 times before this whole experience, what was different this time? After I start to kind of go, okay, what's the difference? Because the experience is entirely different, but I know every death experience has been completely different. But about after the 3rd near-death experience, I asked myself, wait a minute, in the experience I've had crossing over, right, on the other side, while I'm there, each one was a different experience, but was there anything that was the same each time? Was there any kind of a common thread in the experience we call, transitioning from the physical world and out of the body into just spirit? And I got my answer. You know what the difference for me was? At the point of looking at dying, okay, the Big Mac truck is coming straight for you and hey, this is it. There's that, at least a split second of, oh no, right? And it's because death and the process of dying, the experience of dying, whatever form, whatever way you go, forces you to have to look at your selfishness, those aspects of yourself that is self-absorbed. It's all about me. What's going to happen to me? Where am I going to go? Why am I doing? Why me? How is it going to happen? What am I going to go through? Me. It's all about me. Death brings that, even the idea. And especially if you're really looking at the very good possibility of you're going to die, you have to look at, the me factor. Who's going to die? Me! Okay. So there's a moment where you're not thinking about anyone else, anything else, it's just you. Because we assume life is about, my life, anyway, not your life, but my life is about me, right? No, wrong. My life is not about me at all. And that's what the certainty of death brings out. Okay, I'm dying. Me, what's going to happen to me? It brings out that selfishness. And then I realized, oh yeah, that's the same as having any relationship of any sort. I wonder, some of you in here, I'm sure a few of you in here has had that thing, what is it called? Commitment issues. Any of you ever have commitment issues where, not just with a relationship with a person, but you had a challenge, you had a problem with committing yourself to your spiritual path, committing yourself to your job, committing yourself to a cause, committing yourself to a friendship, committing yourself to being part of a family, committing yourself to a particular relationship. Yeah, commitment issues. So if you've had any kind of commitment issues, why would you have that? You're scared, right? There's only a commitment issue if you're afraid that if I commit to this relationship, if I commit to this whatever, I'm going to die. I have to, which means I'm going to have to change. There's no way you can get into any kind of deeper relationship with anyone or anything, a job, anything. You're gonna, if you're afraid of dying, you're afraid of, if I get into this commitment, if I commit myself to this, I'm gonna have to change my ways. I'm gonna have to change something. I can't continue to be exactly the same as I am. Very simple and most obvious example of that in a person-to-person kind of a commitment relationship is, let's say, when a woman, especially a young woman, childbearing age, decides to commit herself to an intimate relationship, partnership, why that's different for a lot of women than it is for men is because one of the things she has to think about is if she wants to bear children, right? If she's totally not interested in having any children ever and whatever in any relationship, well, there's ways you could avoid that. But if you're interested at all, then, okay, what's going to happen? The commitment. What if, but even before that, there's the thing of, okay, if I get myself into this relationship with this person, I'm not going to be, well, this is both for men and women, I'm not going to be a bachelor anymore or a bachelorette. I'm not going to be single. I'm not going to be able to just, whenever I feel like it, jump up and go running out and do something. At the very least, I'm going to have to communicate with my partner. I might not have to get permission, but I'm going to have to communicate so they know I'm not just disappearing. I'm just going to go fishing, whatever it is, right? Oh, yeah. So you can't live the same way you've lived as a single person. Now you're in a partnership of some sort. So that's the fear of commitment, whether it's with a person or a job or a cause or anything, or commitment to your purpose for being here. Commitment to your daily practice. Same difference. Doesn't have to be a person. They're all relationships. And so when you are looking at, okay, is this going to be a long-term thing? Am I going to be able to commit myself to this relationship with this job, this relationship with this group, this relationship with this person? And the fear comes up of, oh, what if I can't be who I am? I worked so hard to be up to this point. Oh, is that, if you had to work hard to be the person you are, is that really you? Or are you holding some perfect image of who and how you have to be in order to be loved, in order to be acceptable, in order to gain approval or something, or to be successful even? Yeah, I gotta have all my brain power to be successful because that's what I attribute my success in business to or something. Or I gotta have the funding from these people. Oh, politicians go through that all the time, right? Oh yeah, hey, this big donor basically put me in office with all the donations, so if I upset this donor, well, I'm not gonna continue to get the funds I need to maintain my stature and my office and my power. Okay, so then, if that goes pretty far, you can be bought. Somebody dangles a carrot or a threat. It could be a blackmailing. Yeah, I'm going to expose you for the fraud that you are. And now it's easy. Anybody could do that. We got social media. And so, what happens? There's that fear of changing who you think you are. Because who you truly are, spirit, never changes. That which is already undivided, doesn't require healing, is never going to die, doesn't need to change. Only the experience of being here in this world has to change. So the only thing we go through in what we call changes is of this world. Our experience as spirit, as that oneness incarnated here, we experience changes constantly. Everything is changing in this world, but we don't. That inner essence of who we are never changes. That light is as bright as ever whether you're having a good day or a lousy day, whether you're in pain or you're in joy. That brightness that you are, each and every one of you, is always, that's who you are. That's the truth. The truth is never changing, everlasting, limitless. No ending, no beginning, no death. But that's not the experience here. Here, you get sick enough, you got to look at, well, maybe it's time for me to go. Right? That's entirely different than any of my near-death experiences. Near-death experiences, I wasn't thinking about death. I wasn't looking at it. I just dropped dead. And then when I came back, everybody told me, you were dead. Oh, okay. So the things I had to deal with in my near-death experiences was upon the return. Okay. I have my own experiences of being out of here, but coming back with it, oh my goodness, I have to deal with this again? Right? So each time I come back, I'm going, oh yeah. How much am I letting the divisions of this, the divided experiences in this world through a brain and a body and everything else, all through the sensory perceptions, how much am I being absorbed into that rabbit hole, right? I don't have to be. If I'm neutral, if I could just experience, if I could just be and experience everything here, then I could have both the experience of, oh yeah, this is what it's like for people, but I'm still experiencing the oneness. But this time, I didn't just drop dead. I didn't drop dead. I was in the process of dying. So, that's entirely different, because then you're looking at, oh yeah, if this just goes the way it's going, then in a very short time, I'm making my exit out of here. So it's like preparing for a trip, right? Your departure gate is 17. And so you start to go towards that and you prepare yourself to do that. And that's when I really looked at that selfishness part is, oh yeah, I'm at peace within myself, right? Because I could be done anytime. That's one of the advantages of doing above and beyond what you've contracted to do in a job, right? Right. When you take on a job, you get paid a certain amount of money and to do this, this, and this. But what if you did you did this, and this, but you did far more than that? Oh, then you're free to go anytime. And unless your employer offers you an extension for more benefits or more pay or whatever, and you go, well, that sounds pretty good. I'll stick around for that. So I'm looking at that, and I realized in the middle of that, oh, but what about everyone else? Sure, on the one hand, I know every one of you, every Raphael, my sons, all my students, the whole bit, they might get upset, they might have a hard time, but they're all grown-ups, right? And they're all incredibly capable people, even the ones that don't think they're much of anything. Incredibly powerful, incredibly intelligent, incredibly capable. And so I know everybody's gonna, given a little time, they won't even remember who the hell was Michael Tamura, right? Oh yeah, he talked a lot. So that's not a problem, but I'm looking at, oh yes, the commitment I made the first time I went across and came back was when I was told I have a free choice of, I'm done here. That was, 15, 20 years ago. And the masters just said, so it's your choice, your call. You want to go back to Earth and back to that body and trudge it out and all that? Be our guest. We'll help you do that. If you want to stick around here in spirit, which is nice and comfy and everything, and be a spirit guide to a lot of people, you can do that. Well, when you're in that space, you're complete, you're at peace with yourself, you don't have a desire one way or the other, because you're no longer in that divided world of desire. Oh yeah, some people have, some people don't have, right? None of that exists. So I'm just sitting there going, Then I have this brilliant idea. oh, these are enlightened masters. I have a private audience with the 5 enlightened masters. My golden opportunity. So I handed it back to them and I said, well, what would you consider to be more beneficial, not just to myself, but to everyone involved, whoever that might be? And every last one of them unanimously at the same time just, if you return to the incarnation, you will be of so much more benefit. Huh, all right. And that's what prompted me to decide to come back. For the benefit. Again, benefit is basically healing, right? Wholeness. Being able to have more of the wholeness here. So, benefit can't be, just like healing, can't be just for me. It can't be just about me. It has to be all. And that's why I put the little post before I came onto the Facebook Live today and said, hi y'all. I always like that Southern dialect and for that very phrase, hi y'all, y'all. Y'all be good. Y'all see y'all later. How y'all doing? And I never make a good Southerner, but what do I like about y'all? For the rest of us, when we speak English, we would say the same thing as you all. Enunciate both words clearly. It's separate, right? You and all are separate. There's you and all. But together, when you say, hi, you all, what are you saying? You're still considering each of the you. So you're saying hello to a whole group of yous. Yeah, whole group of separate yous. And so you address all the yous in the group going, you, all of you. But still separate. But when I hear, hi, y'all, or y'all be well, or whatever, I hear the all that resonates before, and the you is just the initial Y, of alphabet Y with an apostrophe. The emphasis is on all. The whole. Not pieces. Not separate entities. But y'all. The whole. The allness of life. So whenever I hear y'all this and y'all that, I'm looking at the allness of life, the totality, the undivided life of spirit, of God, the all. So it feels like to me, when somebody addresses y'all, it's like you're addressing God. You're addressing spirit as the life. Because that's what spirit is. And that's why in several languages, especially the more ancient languages, the word for spirit in those languages are the same as breath. Breath of life. Spirit is the life. Because in spirit, you don't have to breathe. You don't have to have respiration. That's in and out. That's only of the body. It's divided body, has to breathe in and has to breathe out. Spirit just is. Doesn't have to do any of that stuff. There's no effort in spirit.
There's nothing but God's loving grace.